Okay.
The co-producer Gavin already dropping the ball. We will throw you under the bus just like your sister.
He had one job.
He had one job
He had to take over my duties, and he failed.
and he failed.
Yeah. It's fine.
So if you can't hear us,
It's Gavin's fault.
can't see us. They can hear you. Okay.
Good.
All right. Hey,
All
glad
right.
everybody's on here tonight. Give us a thumbs up or hey, how you doing or something in the comments. Let us know you're here. Like the video,
Subscribe,
subscribe,
and
share, and welcome our privileged guest.
y'all are welcome to be present. Well, graced with my
this
presence
is
today.
It's your privilege to be with us.
No.
It's not our privilege.
No,
to have
it's
you.
definitely y'all's privilege.
It's your privilege to be with us tonight. Bailey Nicole Morris.
Woo.
Hey, Whitney. Hey,
Cheyenne.
Mama.
Ben, April.
Miss April, Ben. Hey, Miss Cheyenne.
I said hey too.
Hmm?
I said hey too.
You're
Hey, Bailey.
sitting right beside me. Why would... Golly.
Hey, can you hear your sister well, Gavin?
Oh no.
Yes, Dalton. I have socks to match the shirt. Don't I? I got socks with your face on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have
Okay.
socks with her face on them. I
I
have
got socks with my face on them too.
Bailey's face on them. I have socks with Jazzy's.
He also has a tie with my face on it.
Yeah, I got a tie with Bailey's face on it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
Yeah.
bought him that shirt for I don't even know what.
maybe
Your birthday?
Yeah,
my birthday.
I think it was your birthday.
I
Maybe
think so too.
maybe Father's Day last year or something.
And then he tried to tell me that I didn't.
You lost
Remember?
it.
Yeah, I forgot you bought it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hunter said, "What about his face?"
I don't buy them for myself, Hunter. So if you want me to have a shirt or socks with your face on it, then you're going to have to be the one that buys it and gives it to me. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, the face has to be the provider.
Cheyenne said we
Yeah.
need potato socks.
Oh,
Oh,
we
that'd be a
do.
good idea.
We
5
do.
potatoes.
5 potatoes.
All right.
All right. Well, here we go, guys. So yeah, me and Dalton were actually talking last night, and we're talking about how we need to have more conversations about fathers and their relationship with their daughters, and how that is a big problem in society. I'll just say this, that fatherhood in general is an issue in society, whether or not they're not there at all. And even if they are there, are they present? Are they involved? Oh yeah, are they actively involved in their children's lives, their sons, their daughters? What kind of impact are you making on your children? And so after me and Dalton had that conversation, I came in and mentioned it to Tabitha, and she was like, well, let's do that tomorrow night. And I said, okay, let's do that. So then that's how producer Bailey.
Yeah, guys. Mom was sitting on the bed whenever I came in there. She was like, "Yeah, I think your dad. We're gonna do fathers raising daughters or something." And I was like, "Okay." And so I started making the little graphic thing. And she's like, "Oh, I think he wants you on it." And I was like, "Oh, I'm supposed to be a part of this." And she was like, "Yeah." So she was like, "You need to ask your dad though." And so then I asked him. He's like, "Yeah, you're gonna be on it." And I'm like, "Oh, good to know." Last minute. That's how we roll around here.
Yeah.
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 Work
Procrastinators.
best under pressure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you can't
Y'all do.
operate under pressure, then I got no use for you.
Right?
Who wants to plan stuff, Bailey?
Not me.
Who wants to have stuff done ahead of time?
Not me either.
Me either. Gavin,
Yeah.
put your hand down.
I agree,
You
Gavin.
stay over there behind the producer table.
I'm like, I fall in the middle of that. I don't do too far ahead, but I also can't wait till last minute like you and Bailey.
Hey, Terry. Hey, Miss Dana.
Hey, y'all.
I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know why I
Anyway.
operate that way.
I
Yeah.
do too.
All
Day
right.
of.
Mm-hmm. So that's one thing I'll say about her. She may not like to admit it. Not only does she look like her father, she is blessed in that way. She also has a lot of the same characteristics as her father.
Yeah.
Do you or do you not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She may act like her mama sometimes, but she has
Although I definitely look better, but
than your mama.
no, then you.
You don't look better than me.
No, yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure.
Look, you gonna come on here and try to steal my shine? That ain't gonna work. Okay. Don't.
I don't have to
even
try.
Don't even try.
I don't have to try.
Don't even try it.
Comes natural.
So yeah, that's our relationship. It really is. Like I was telling Dalton, I was like, you don't have to have 100 different things in common with your daughter. It just really takes one thing that you can connect on and be close on. I struggle to find anything else outside of our sometimes warped sense of humor. But that's all it takes.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna be in any pageants anytime soon.
No, I'm not going to be in any pageants. I'm not going to get my eyelashes extended.
None of those things, huh?
Huh?
None of those things, huh?
None of those things. I don't need any extensions.
I'm not gonna go.
My biggest problem I
watch
have
some
with you
wrestling.
most
Well,
of
I
the
am.
time is getting me in to get my hair cut.
Yeah. Can't help your daughter's famous.
No, you're not famous. You might
I
be
mean,
busy. You
well
ain't-
desired.
You'll
Well desired.
one day, Grasshopper, you'll be as famous as your father.
Yeah.
Until that day,
Oh.
step down. Anyway,
Oh.
so I got a few questions I was going to ask Bailey tonight, and she may or may not answer them. I don't. We'll see how it goes. So, are you ready?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Okay. She said, "Where'd you get this font?" I said, "I copy and pasted."
No, she
No,
said,
no.
"Did you copy
I
and
She said,
paste
"Did you
it?"
did you copy and paste?" I said, "Well, "Yeah, I copied it."
You probably did that on the car ride home.
You think I typed all this out? No, I actually did it last night.
Oh, wow.
Did a little
Fancy.
research.
Fancy. You
Did
got
a little research.
you
on
were
the
well
questions-
prepared. Well
on the
prepared.
questions I was going to ask you. So keep your little snide remarks to yourself. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Looking back on your childhood, what are some of the things I did as a father that you feel really helped shape you in a positive way?
You showed up for me for everything. You gave a good example as what a father or a husband or a spouse should be and what they should do. And yeah.
Okay, so 2 things.
Well, that's what I can come up with right now.
So showing up, right?
Mm.
That's what you said.
Yeah.
And being an example.
Mhm.
So what I say to men all the time is you just got to show up. You just got to be there. That if they're having something, they're doing something, they need to know that dad's going to be there. They don't need to be wondering, is dad going to show up? Is he going to be there for me this time? He said he was going to be here. Do what?
She told me to look at the camera.
Or him. She's just
Or
looking
him.
down. Just keep talking.
Oh, I'm just asking what y'all are
You
talking
stay out our
about.
business over here.
It's a B&T
This is-
conversation.
This is spiraling out of control. Your child doesn't need to doubt you, Dad, of whether or not you're going to be there. If you say you're going to be there, then you be there. Whatever it takes. Don't tell them you're going to show up and then not show up.
Right.
You have to do what you say that you're going to do. I use that in my work, and I try to do that as a husband and a father, and it is do what you say you're going to do. Do what you say you will do. Do what you say you will do. Because if you don't do what you say you're going to do, then you're a liar.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't want that to be what our children think think of us, what our spouse thinks of us. And what was the other thing? Show up and
You said a good example.
set a good example. Yeah. Uh, be a good example in the way that you treat your spouse, in the way that men be a good example in the way that you treat your wife. Because the way I treat my wife is the exact same thing that my daughter is going to tolerate from her spouse. I'm setting the bar.
Mhm.
So if I treat her mom like the princess that she is,
Obviously.
then she will settle for no less than someone treating her like the princess that she is.
Obviously.
Obviously. Or
Obviously.
she thinks she is
I mean,
anyway.
I'm pretty awesome, but you know.
You got a crown to prove it.
Yeah.
Or 5 or 10. I don't know how many we're up to.
Yeah, she got a couple of crowns, but see, I like to knock her back down a peg or two whenever she tries to get too high on the hog.
Mm.
So yeah, be a good example and show up. Those are good.
High off the hog.
High on the hog.
He says things sometimes, and I'm like,
What's the hog got to do with it?
It's just an expression.
you know what he said
Bailey?
last night? Somebody's probably in there running them gators.
I said running that gator.
Running that gator. I said,
Running
If
that
you
gator.
know what the term
that
running
mean?
that gator means in the comments, please put a gator emoji or a thumbs up or a yes, I know what running them gators mean. Running that gator.
okay,
Like a
well,
mouth? Like running your mouth?
Yeah, that's what he meant.
But who
But
calls
who
it a
says
gator?
that?
That's what I don't
Look, Hunt is laughing because he didn't know what it meant either.
Because nobody knows what
we're
that
gonna
means.
wait on the comment section to populate.
I said only old people know.
Literally. It's not my fault you're born in 1904.
How long have you been living with me and you've never heard me say running that gator?
My whole
My
life.
whole life.
My whole life.
Like, half of my life.
I think you made that one up.
Y'all are literally lying.
I think you made that one up.
Right now you're lying.
No. Anyway.
Anyway.
Nobody else heard of it either. 'Cause they're
Apparently
not putting
nobody
anything.
else.
Dana,
Gator mouth.
Dana knows.
She knows.
What in the
Well,
world?
I don't know. Miss Lynn told me I wasn't country enough, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
I'm old, never heard that. Apparently,
See,
you're
April
not country
knows.
enough either.
You're
April.
not.
She's from North Alabama. You got her.
I'm not, but
Me either.
I didn't know.
I've lived in the house with you my whole life, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Bumping them gums.
I know
How
what that
I
about
know what that
that
means.
Right.
Yeah.
Running that gator. I think that's made up.
Got an alligator mouth and a hummingbird
Behind.
behind. That's exactly right, Terry.
Gavin's looking it up.
It said Gavin
Okay,
said
we're
That's
off
in
Google
that's in a
doesn't it?
T.I. song. Got an alligator mouth.
Mm.
Is that a Columbia expression?
Terry told me.
Yeah,
That's funny.
I guess that's I don't know where I got that, but
Yeah.
Jim Morris, probably.
Probably.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Okay, question 2, Bailey. Are there areas where you felt I may have fallen short as a father?
Dangerous, difficult, or getting away from a problem. Yes, Cheyenne didn't know what it meant either. She looked it up on Google.
Mhm.
That's funny.
What'd you look that up? What'd you look that up on?
Yeah, I agree with Cheyenne's definition.
You
It
must have looked-
sounds better. Anyway, babe,
Mm,
back to your Gavin. Remember what I told you, Gavin?
Gavin, we can't have conversations with you.
I couldn't think of anything.
You couldn't think of one area where I fell short as a father.
No.
Seriously.
Yeah.
You can tell me just because I'm sitting here.
No.
There's things I did or didn't do that made your life harder.
No.
Okay. Well, I'll tell where I think I fell short as a father. How about that?
Okay.
Okay. I feel like I fell short as a father in
In the
in the theater. They must use that expression
theater.
in the theater, the theater. So as a father, I feel like I fell short. If I could go back, which obviously we can't, but if I could go back, I would have spent time with you differently as a toddler, as a small child, because I didn't do it enough. I feel like I missed a lot in that, and I was more concerned about getting high than being a dad. I was more concerned about getting high than raising my daughter, and I just that's where I fell short, and for me anyway. And I mean, I know that made your life harder. I don't know how it did, but
Well, luckily I can't remember then, so
yeah, it's a good thing you can't remember that, right?
yeah.
You probably just blocked it out because it wasn't
She
like
does block out any kind of trauma.
because it wasn't that you were. I mean, how old are you? 19?
19.
I mean, I was getting high for a long time,
Yeah.
and so all of that, I wish I could do away with. Take those days back, and spend that time with her, because the older they get, in most cases, maybe not necessarily ours, but the older they get, the less time you get to spend with them.
I'm always around.
She's always here. Don't know that she'll ever leave,
No
That's
plan,
okay.
love it.
and that's okay, as long as she starts paying her fair share at some point in time.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Probably not.
Probably not.
So if you have small kids, if you have toddlers, just know that time you don't get it back.
Mm-mm.
So whatever you're prioritizing over them, know that you're going to look back one day and you're going to regret it. You're going to look back one day and say, "Man, I wish I would have done this," or "I wish I would have done that." And there's nothing you can do to change that. You just got to start where you are right now and move forward. So whatever you're prioritizing over your children, over your daughter, your son, your wife, whatever it is, stop. There's an order to things, and that order is God, your spouse, then your children, and you need to keep it that way.
And I'll say, and I'm not trying to like pat myself on the back here, but our kids didn't see where he lacked because I stepped in. They never knew where he was lacking because I filled that spot. Do you think that's a fair statement, Matthew?
Oh yeah, thought you were talking to her.
No. I mean, she doesn't remember it. But I think a lot of the reason why she doesn't remember it is because she wasn't lacking anything because I filled in.
Yeah.
And you didn't have, not saying you didn't have to. I mean, you should have, but she didn't miss anything because I did my part and yours when I needed to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because-
I have very little childhood memories before the age of 7 to 8. So
Yeah. And that's, due to her own things that she had to go through. And and that's actually what I thought if I was going to say where I think he failed her some would be in that situation. I think out the gate he was the better choice. And unfortunately, she had to continue going until she was 9.
Well, when you say out the gate, I was a better choice. We're choosing between the lesser of two evils at that point.
Well, you had me though.
Yeah, yeah.
I was definitely the better option.
Because I mean, I wasn't worth knocking in the head. at that point in life. And so, yeah. Yeah, I felt her in that sense also.
Yeah, that's the only thing I could really think that you, like, that I could think, it could have been different. But in that though, I don't know that it could have been because we did everything we could do.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, it wasn't really y'all's choice.
Right.
So.
I mean, she's lived with us full time since she was 15, 16 months old, and she only had to go there every other weekend. So, I mean, we did the best we could. But unfortunately, I mean, she still had things she had to deal with because of it. I think what I'm trying to say, for anyone that's not married, you have to choose the person you're going to have children with wisely. Because that person could be detrimental to the child you bring into this world. And that falls on you as a parent. She didn't choose her parents, just like I didn't choose mine. None of us choose our parents. And, so before you go and get married to someone or sleep with someone, you need to truly think, is this person someone? My dad used to tell me this all the time. He started telling me this I was 14 years old. He said, before you get in the bed with someone, you need to make sure you could deal with them for the rest of your life. And I held on to that. And I mean, it's probably because he had me, and they were not married, and it was a situation that he didn't want to be in, and he had to be in it. So, if you're single, you have to think outside of just the right then, because the choice you make can affect your children. And that's, I guess, what I was saying. Your mom said that's not true, Slade. I've always loved you.
I don't know what she's talking. What are you referring to,
she's
Mom?
saying
When I said I wasn't worth knocking in the head.
Yeah, I loved you too.
I mean, you could love me.
I think you don't give yourself enough credit, though. You were not as bad as you think you were. You really weren't.
Okay.
You've always, at the root of who you were, been a good man. You just had to grow up. I mean, you were a child raising a child.
Yeah.
I mean, you were 19. You were Bailey's age.
You don't want me raising a child.
Yeah, we didn't have that conversation. If you better not bring nobody like me home.
You weren't that bad. It could have been a lot worse.
I wasn't that bad.
You weren't that bad.
Wasn't that bad. All right.
You know what
Do
I
you
mean.
feel like I could have handled discipline any differently or correction or conflict?
Well, the only discipline I really remember, I remember getting a spanking 2 times. It's the most traumatic times of my life.
But see that? Most traumatic times in her life is when her dad spanked
I
her.
think that's a little far-fetched. I can think of some dramatic
That
things.
is wild.
Okay, maybe that's a little dramatic.
But if you really think about it, you say that. I can remember 2 spankings I ever got in my life.
Me too.
Well,
One from my mom and one from my dad.
I remember 3, but I remember 2 of them were for you. And then Mom beat me and Gavin one time.
And they laughed at me.
You what?
They laughed at me. I spanked them one time and they both laughed at me. I was not a good spanker. I'll just be honest. That's why I had to get the spoon. Because if it hurt my hand a little, I didn't want to do it anymore. I sucked at it.
Get a spoon.
Yeah, so that's why I got the spatula.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Gavin's on the other side of the computer dying.
They at me in my face, dead in my face, and laughed at me.
Yeah. I never had to get a spanking with a spanking spoon, so
He didn't.
it has Gavin's name on it. So
It does.
that tells y'all anything. But then discipline, I mean, no, not really. I don't necessarily agree with the fact that it's wait till your dad gets home or let's talk to your dad, because I don't think dad should have to, like, obviously dad should have to discipline too, but dad shouldn't have to be the discipline. Like,
The only discipline.
yeah, that shouldn't have to be the thing. Like,
Yeah, I handled it, is what she's saying. Before Dad ever got home, I'd usually handle it, even if she laughed at me.
yeah. Even
Hunt said the most traumatic moment in Tabitha's life. Needless to say, they might have been scared of me, but it was not because of my spanking ability.
no.
Now there were times where it wasn't a wait till your dad gets home. It was your dad's about to come home.
Yes.
Yeah.
If I called him, he was immediately coming. If I ever called for reinforcement, he was stopping whatever he had going on because he knew somebody was going to lose it.
Yeah.
Whether it be a
Cheyenne-
wife or
Cheyenne
whatever.
said the baseboards was her favorite story. Yeah, so I made you.
yeah.
I forgot
The
about
toothbrush.
that. And the
You
toothbrush.
forgot about it? Made her clean the baseboards. I was like, she's too old to be spanking. Like, I mean, that wasn't but what, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
She was in college,
She was.
and I was like, I don't know what else to do. I was like, I got a good idea. I got a toothbrush out in the
It was
van.
a child-sized toothbrush.
It was one of those little toothbrushes they give you like when you go to the dentist, one of those little free toothbrushes.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got a toothbrush out there in the van. I'm gonna make her scrub the baseboards of the house all the way.
That took forever.
It was. I mean,
She's
it's a
down there.
lot of baseboards in this house.
She's down there scrubbing the baseboard.
Hours.
Tears running down her face.
We're terrible.
Oh, we're horrible humans.
Dad even moved the fridge.
I
So that,
moved-
And the stove.
I
Yes.
moved furniture so she could get behind and scrub the
You
baseboards.
did that.
You wasn't gonna be skipping not an inch.
No.
Mm-mm.
Well, I need one of them to get in trouble because it's about time to clean.
Mm-mm.
Gavin, it's your time.
Yeah. So I didn't do a whole. I mean, I say I didn't do a whole lot of discipline. Like, I didn't have to. I wasn't here, all the time. You know, she was with them most of the day, every day, all day, every day, and I was here for a short period of time, every day. And so, when I was here, all the discipline had already been.
Disciplined.
Yeah, she was
Been
disciplined, out,
out.
just like me.
I would tap out, literally. He walked in the house and I'd be like, all right. It's
Ne-
on you.
Next time she steps out of line, Miss Dana, I will send her to your house to scrub your baseboards.
So that doesn't happen again, guys.
But I can. So yeah, like I can remember times where I come home and Tabitha fly off the handle on them, and I'd be like, "Chill out, bro." They're like, you ain't been with them all day. This is the 712th time I've told them, and I'm not telling them anymore. I'm like, okay, I'll shut up. And that's where a lot of men, I think, you got to get on the same page with your wife in disciplining your children, because when you come home, you don't get to automatically take over the way things are running around there. Like, she's been running that thing like a well-oiled machine all day, and then you come in and throw a cog in the wheel and mess everything up because you want to do it your way. Well, look, you've been at work all day. Keep your mouth shut. Now, with that said, you are the head of the house, and you set the tone. You set the tempo. So whatever, however, you're either going to make them matter
Mm-hmm.
or make them happier. Choice is yours when you walk in the door. Which way are you going to do it? And as you know, Dalton says a lot of times, you're the thermometer or you're the thermostat when you walk in the house. You set the temperature. You want to walk in and be mad at everybody? Well, then guess what? Everybody's going to be mad.
Mm-hmm.
You want to walk in and joke and have fun? Well, everybody's going to be joking and having fun. You set the temperature in the room. Don't walk in the room and let it set you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dre is like a drill sergeant and makes Riley run laps. Hey, whatever works, man. Run laps. Do push-ups, jumping jacks.
I wouldn't get very many out of me.
Yeah, she. If I expected her, that would probably be the worst punishment I could have ever given her.
Literally.
Was
She
make
would
her,
have quit.
would just make her go stand in the sun.
Ugh. Sweat.
If I wanted to punish Gavin, I'd make him go to work with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't do that because I don't, like he said, I don't want to punish myself. Yeah. So is that your traumatic discipline story? You're not going to tell us any more about it?
No, I got spankings and
Your 2 spankings?
my 2 spankings, and I don't even remember what they were for, but I'm sure they were lying.
I'm sure they were lying.
I'm sure they were.
I'm 100% sure.
100%.
100%.
That's how you get to 600, Bailey.
650.
650.
Oh,
In what ways did I support you and love you the most?
Showing up for everything that I did, and keeping me out of as many.
okay.
As many bad situations as you could.
Yeah.
She's referring to the other parent.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a lot of just crazy stuff that went on in that time, and you know, the last thing you want to do is put your child in a situation where literally, you know that their life was in danger. And
I'm a hard human. There wasn't an option. She was coming out of that situation, or I was going to be locked up.
yeah. I think I was actually with Hunter
He was.
in Las Vegas whenever Bailey was in a convenience store. Her mom, or her
Ovary donor.
Yeah, her biological parent left her, and the store got robbed and held at gunpoint, and shots were fired and bullets, whizzing by her ear. Just crazy stuff that you never want to put your child in that situation. And it's terrible to be at the mercy of a court system where fathers have such a bad rap that it's almost impossible to get your child out of a bad situation with their mother, because fathers just have such a bad rap. You know, there used to be a time in this country when a couple got a divorce that the child always went with the dad. Always. What changed? What happened? What shifted? Well, men, right?
Yeah.
Men quit caring. Men quit having anything to do with their children. And so when men stop showing up, that's when teen pregnancy goes up, runaway children go, percentages go up, teens in juvenile centers that every bad statistic you could imagine about a child goes through the roof whenever the dad is not present. But when the dad is present, all those same statistics that are through the roof with the absent father are bottomed out whenever the father is present and cares. That was one of the most horrible times of my life. I was scared to death. Yeah. Yeah, it's horrible. So imagine hearing that about your daughter and you're on the other side of the country and you can't do anything about it. It's awful. So you don't.
I
go-
got her though the next day
Yeah.
immediately.
So you don't want to put your child in a situation if you can help it. Always try to keep them out of those horrible situations. Are there times that you struggle to feel loved by me?
Mm. There was a time in my early teenage years, but it's because we didn't spend a whole bunch of time together. But now, I know it's just because you're busy, and like I know you still love me, but you're busy. But yeah,
Well, that's no excuse.
Yeah.
Busy's not an excuse. You know, something me and your mom's like, doesn't matter how much time I have. What am I giving her quality time? And the same thing should be should be true with you. You know, am I giving you quality time? Am I giving Gavin quality time? Am I giving your mom quality time? I don't have boo koodles of hours to give to each one of you, but I do have some time to give to each one of you, and that time should be focused and it should be intentional time. You know, for me, I would say, you know, me and Gavin spend way more time together than her and I, but them two spend way more time together than the other way around. So
We spend way more time together than most humans.
period.
Period.
yeah, I mean they spend way more time together than most human beings. It's probably
Unhealthy at some point.
borderline unhealthy at
What do you
best.
see? Maybe not.
Probably
so.
like TLC show worthy.
Smothered.
We've been talking about it. Smothered.
Yeah.
There is a show.
Yeah. Yeah, smothered.
That'd be us.
That'd be us. Yeah. She chooses it.
Some of those people are a little more crazy than we are, though. So.
Way crazy. Way crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. So yeah, it's not an excuse that that I didn't have time or you felt like I didn't make time for you. So.
Yeah. And I'll say this, Bailey, her quality time, she really likes to travel. That is like mine and her number one quality time. But he and her just, like, the only places they really like that are the same as amusement parks.
Yeah.
So that's difficult. And then she likes to watch like certain shows, but the shows she watches, he doesn't watch
I'd say our best quality time is waiting in line
for a
at
ride.
Disney World for something that the other two don't ride.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know,
Several things.
yeah, me and her ride almost. We ride most things.
Most
We
things.
don't go upside down. We don't
Mhm.
want to do that.
And I always stay with Gavin.
And yeah, and
Well,
so
we did on the rock and roller coaster.
yeah, but you can't see it.
Yeah, you can't see it. You
Yeah.
can't. You don't know.
You don't know you're about to go
you're going
upside down.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have good times doing that. And like I said, we share a very similar sense of humor. So I would, I don't know if memes and videos our quality time, but we do share.
I'd say we're closer now than we've ever been, but I think that's also because I'm older now as well.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we have more in common now. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
It's because the older you get, the more you're like me.
I didn't say all that. I just said,
I'm telling you.
or the more awesome you get like me, but whatever.
Mm.
Either way,
Look, so here's the thing. You can say you're as awesome as you want to. You're just the step down
no,
from the original.
no, you don't think God does miracles? I'm literally God's miracle right now.
Not in this situation, you're not.
I'm literally the miracle.
Not in this situation, you're not. Mm.
Yeah.
So yeah,
He has
and
favorites,
You just
too.
want to, and
I am the
I
favorite.
am the favorite. So now that you're an adult,
I think Mother was about to say something.
Yeah, I was.
oh, I'm sorry.
It's
Go ahead.
okay. I was just going to say
I can't see her.
that the reason why you're
I don't
I
fine.
have a
see her
triple
now.
chin.
The
I can't do that.
reason why I think she wasn't as close to you in her early teen years is because she didn't know how to tell you things, because whenever you're a girl, every girl goes through this. Those first few years into teenage years, it's hard to talk to your dad because you're like, this guy's not going to understand. He's not a girl. And so sometimes it's hard for, like, that's a hard transition right there, which is why it's so important to have a female in the house at that point, because I could step in when it was something you couldn't handle. Like when girls, when their hormones start going all over the place, like men don't know how to deal with that. When they're crying one minute and screaming at you the next, like dad don't know how to deal with that. So that's a mom thing.
I say this. Said this to Dalton on the phone last night, and I had it never really crossed my mind before, but I can remember people saying, "Oh, you know, girls in school when I was in high school and stuff. Like, I'm not talking to my dad right now." Stuff like that, and I was like, Bailey has never
No.
gone
Not talk.
That's
one
weird.
hour of being in my presence and us not talk. Like we've never been mad at each other for. I mean, I've never been mad at her for any amount of time for anything. Yes, Jordan. She should be a part of the. I'll let you add her, but I don't. When people say that, you know, they're not talking to their parents or they're not doing this or they're not doing that, that's how I don't understand that. And
I definitely understand it when they're living with their parents, because how do your parents just let you not talk?
oh
to
no,
them?
you're gonna talk to me. That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah,
that's
that's
one of the
crazy.
things I don't understand. Like
Yeah.
you don't get to
Not
walk
talk to
around
me.
mad at me.
Right.
Like, it's not an option.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna be happy
Yeah.
and you're gonna laugh and I'm gonna make you smile
Yeah.
and that's just gonna happen. It has to. You have to talk to me.
And I would say that it was only when she was like 13, 14 that it was hard for her. Once she hit about 15, she started talking to you about whatever.
And now, if you think that my dad doesn't know, he does, and he probably talked to him about you too. So
What are you talking about?
anything.
If you
She
think your
said-
dad doesn't know what?
Like,
if
about
If you
someone.
think, yeah, if I,
Yeah.
She tells you everything now.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't think you're talking to me and I don't know everything you done told her.
yeah.
'Cause I do. I might act like I have no idea what you're talking about, but
Yeah. She told both of us, and we probably got a good laugh out of it.
yeah, I know.
Probably.
Yeah.
Watch the video, whatever. Might have been.
Now that you think you're an adult
Mm.
and you kind of got your
Yeah,
little
I'm pretty
job,
grown out
running
here.
your little business and
little job.
everything. Is there any advice that you would give me not to go back and change the past, but how could I be a better father or grandfather and mentor to other people moving forward?
Mm, I don't know. I can't think of anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say the person that you are now, I couldn't think of anything.
Yeah. I mean, maybe not think you're as cool as me, but you know.
So here's the thing. She is we just had this conversation earlier about self-image in our house, and there's two people in this house that have no problem with their self-image, and
Those two.
that would be us.
Yeah.
There is a fine line between confidence and arrogance.
We're right in there.
And we walk that line. We walk that line tightly.
It's like a
She-
tightrope.
She likes to fall over to the arrogant side, and I have to knock her back down. I have to tell her,
Coming from you.
what I do.
Bruh.
I have to knock her back down.
You literally told Gavin earlier. Don't worry, Gavin. I got you. You literally told. So, Gavin and I went to the supply house to pick up something for Bailey. And the lady said, "You look just like your daddy." And her husband was sitting in there. And he said, yeah, let's just hope you're half as good as he is. Or let's just hope you're as good as he is. That's what he said. And I said, well, I'd say that he's better. And I laughed about it. And so we get in the car and Cheyenne says Slade's head ain't gonna fit in the church door Sunday. Agreed. So we get in the car and we call Slade to tell him who we saw and what they said. And Gavin said, I don't know if I should take that as a compliment or not. And Slade said, yeah, you should. And Gavin said, well, they might not think that you're attractive. And what was it you said?
I said, I can assure you they do.
So don't be talking about knocking her back a few.
I say a lot of things jokingly, but at the same time, you have to have this positive image of yourself, because if you don't have that positive image of yourself, you're going to portray to everyone else what you think about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
If I think of myself as not good enough or whatever the case may be, as ugly or whatever, well, that's what I'm going to show to everybody else, and that's what they're going to receive. So you have to carry yourself with confidence, and you have to carry yourself in a way that I mean, I don't know the word, that really commands people's attention.
Yeah.
And I think she does that.
Yeah, if I ever say something bad about myself, it's definitely a joke. So
Yeah, it's self-deprecating humor. Now we're real big on that around here.
yeah.
We were
When-
working on it.
When I say self-deprecating, I mean like she's self, and
Yeah.
I'm doing the deprecating.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're gonna work
So-
on that.
So from what I heard tonight, I did a real good job.
Mhm.
No room for improvement.
Yeah.
And
We should bring Gavin on here next week.
next week we'll bring Gavin
so
on.
He'll
So-
tell him about himself.
So Cheyenne, next week y'all are gonna have to wheel me into the church because he's gonna beat me down.
Gavin, you're not supposed to be talking. Co-producer, no good.
He sucks.
So I'll the gas station story explains why you were so mad about the toothpaste.
No, he just is that angry about toothpaste.
So okay, well I'll leave y'all with this story. My wife is highly OCD, and she likes things done a certain way. Well, I'm just all over the place. Like, I don't really care about a lot of things.
Bailey gets that from him.
Yeah, we are
Yeah.
we're much the same in that sense. I just don't I don't really care about those things. But there's one thing that bothers me. It's when you take the toothpaste and you squeeze it from the middle.
Who does that?
Who
Who does that?
does that?
Apparently the Heralds.
That is absolutely
That's insanity.
psycho behavior. Like Charles Manson probably squeezed the toothpaste from the middle if he brushed his teeth. And
He had them, so I would say
so
he did.
when we were in me and Hunter and his brother and his dad went to Las Vegas, and somebody had used the toothpaste and squeezed it from the middle, and I walked in and I was like, and I saw the toothpaste and I walked back out of the bathroom and I said, "Who did this?" And everybody went to blaming everybody else. Apparently it was nobody's fault. Nobody had done anything to the toothpaste. And so I showed them how you squeeze toothpaste, and Hunter has never forgotten that story.
I
about the
wonder.
toothpaste.
I wonder if he actually uses toothpaste how it's supposed to be used.
Hunter, do you squeeze toothpaste from the bottom
Or the
from
middle?
Now. So I bet he squeezes it from the bottom now.
Yeah.
Terry agreed. Yes, squeeze your toothpaste from the bottom. Nobody wants to be squeezing toothpaste from the middle.
If you squeeze it from the middle, you need
And
to
out
be
of all the
put in a
things in the
psych ward.
world that my wife is
I used to do that.
OCD and
I do.
has to have things done a certain way. That was not one of them. She didn't care how the toothpaste was squeezed, and I'm like,
Just like I don't care how the toilet paper goes on the roll.
I wouldn't dare squeeze it from the middle ever again.
He got scared.
Yeah. There's events that shape your future, and that was one of them for Hunter.
Yeah. No. I don't care about the toilet paper. I don't care about the toothpaste.
No, that's another one for me. The toilet paper.
It is. Yeah. The lecture was worse than the baseboards, I can assure you.
What about the spankings though? That's definitely wasn't worse than that.
And we'll obviously have Gavin on here so he can do this, and then I'll do it with my kids.
Yes, Terry, bangs
Over the top.
not the mullet.
Yes, I do agree. I do prefer it that way, but sometimes I'll just shove it on there and then I have to fix it.
Toilet paper, bangs, no mullet.
Over.
Miss
Over.
Dana.
Over. But so anyway, we'll do this, and we'll bring Gavin on for Slade, and then we can bring Bailey back for me. And I told my counselor today, I said my kids are much harder on me than they are their dad. And that's, a lot of that's because I spent the most time with them. And if Kelsey and I did this, it would be in the
It would end the ministry.
And anyway, I think it's because they spend the most time with me. So y'all might hear her be a lot more vocal when I ask her questions and when her father asks her questions. Jordan Morris, hello, you and Slade need to do one. That'd be hilarious. But I would say, babe, as a whole, you've done a really great job with Bailey. We were children raising a child, and she turned out to be
Pretty awesome.
pretty awesome. I agree with
Pretty
that.
awesome.
So, I think that
She's just probably her and her brother. So y'all are like
2.5 years
2A
apart.
and 2B
Oh.
in this bloodline.
What?
'Cause I'm one. So
No.
y'all are
You're
2A and
definitely
2B in terms
two.
of awesomeness.
I disagree, but
Okay.
um,
I'm definitely the best. That's not the point.
but I would say that. I mean, I think you've done a good job, and I think that y'all hear Gavin. Whenever he gets on here, he'll tell him probably a lot more than she did. Gavin's a lot more vocal than Bailey. Gavin, in a lot of ways, very much like his mother.
Gavin had me on here defending myself about stuff that I didn't even know was a thing.
He says that Bailey is a lot like him, personality wise. She is in a lot of ways. She has the same sense of humor. Her communication is lacking.
Just like mine.
It's something she constantly has to work on. Where her brother and I are we're vocal. Like, he can look at me and tell me whatever, and I can look at him and tell him whatever, and it might make each other mad, but we don't really care because we both going to get over it, and we're going to learn something from it. So y'all will see when Gavin comes on here that he is probably more like me than he is his dad. He and I have, but my sense of humor is dry as well. So I don't know, like, we're all just kind of sarcastic and dry. So, which is probably why our marriage works so great, because I can say something and he can say something, and
The last guy Bailey was dating, I told her, I said, he said he ain't gonna make it in this family. He just ain't. He can't handle it.
let's back it up. I told her first, and then you piped in.
I don't remember the situation.
I called you in there. I was like,
But
you gotta tell her.
If you can't take a joke, you just need to look.
It's not gonna work.
If you're gonna marry this one, you better pack a lunch and come prepared, because it's gonna be a long day. It's gonna be a long, hard fight. It ain't. This one ain't for everybody.
Thought you were gonna say because I can't cook. Because I can't do that either.
Do that either.
We're gonna turn this into a dating show now. Here we go.
Well, I mean, I think it'd be a good thing to talk about that a second.
What, that she can't cook?
No, well, she can't cook.
No, I mean, so the thing is, like, she. One thing I have tried to do.
They're running that. Anyway.
One thing I have tried to do in her relationships is for her to know her worth. And I know her mom's does the same thing, has the same conversations. We have them all together. We have them. You Bailey, have to know what you're worth, and you can't settle for anything less than what you're worth.
Mm-hmm.
That can't be an option. Settling cannot be an option. If you're having to settle for them, then they're not from God. If you're having to settle for them, they're not for you. If you're having to settle for them, you send them down the road.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, she has certain things that she'll put somebody in the road fast over. She has no problem chatting with them a few weeks and cutting them loose at all. Like,
Yeah.
And I respect that. It's not like she, like, she's very, she just has high, like, standards. One of those is you're going to open the door for her. And if you don't, she's going to cut you loose. And I don't think that's a bad thing.
But why does she have that standard? Because she's always seen it done.
That's right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
If I never opened the door for her mom,
Right.
what difference would it make to her if somebody opened the door? But she's always seen it. And, that goes for fathers. They see what you do, and that's the standard that you're setting for them.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Like, Bailey always sits behind me, and he'll open both of our doors. Like, if we all four go somewhere together, she always sits in the seat behind me, if I'm riding in the passenger seat, and he just opens both doors at the same time.
I
so
try to.
yeah, so
Sometimes I'm like a ninja.
Yeah, sometimes she's quick.
yeah,
Reflexes
I'm not
like a
opening the
cat.
door. I'll just keep standing there.
Yeah, she ain't
Um,
gonna open the door.
I've done that before
with a
with a guy.
date.
Yeah. He didn't come around to
That'd
open the
be
door, so I
real-
stood
It'd
there.
be real awkward.
he had to get back out the truck.
Yeah.
He just drove off and left you.
Well, I do
well,
have a
that'd have
phone.
been a good idea.
Yeah.
All right. So I want you to know I'm proud of you. I'm proud of the woman that you're becoming. I'm proud of you graduating early from high school, graduating early from college, starting a business with your mom, being successful already at the age of 19, having the drive to do and accomplish your goals and not worry about what most 19-year-olds are worried about. You have your eyes focused on Jesus. You're pursuing him and you're pursuing your dreams and his will for your life. And I'm proud of you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Happy Father's Day, fathers.
Yeah.
Go out and be a good dad this weekend. Hey, moms.
Wait, Gavin. Okay.
Hey, dads. Go to church this Sunday. Get everybody up and tell them that you want to go to church. Tell them on Saturday night. Don't wake them up on Sunday. Tell them that you might start an argument. Tell them on Saturday that, hey, for Father's Day this year, I want to go to church. So y'all get y'all's rear ends up out of the bed and get dressed, and we're going to church. Do it. You don't have to come to our church. Go to any church. Don't go to any church. Find a good church
Right.
and that preaches the word and go there.
Yeah.
We can come to ours though if you really want to.
I mean, I'd
Yeah.
recommend ours. But
It's Living
yeah,
Water.
I would highly recommend ours.
At 10 o'clock on
10
Sunday.
o'clock Sunday.
8
Happy
Mhm.
Father's Day. And this year, I usually jump all over the men.
I'm trying to give them the address.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's 824 East Main Street, Headland, Alabama.
36345.
Good job, Bailey.
And I usually jump all over the men, but this year I'm going to try to be encouraging to them. So
First time for everything.
we'll see.
And y'all are welcome for getting blessed with my presence today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sign us off.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.